Hello and welcome back. My name is Last. So there are certain things which we overlook and there are certain things which we think they are obvious, but at times they are not so obvious. So for you to be able to write a normal report, an abnormal report, you must know the normal. So the first thing for you to be a good sonographer, radiologist, or any other clinician who does ultrasound scans, you must understand the normal. You cannot move to the abnormal when you don't know the normal. So in this presentation, I am going to present a case of a normal pelvic ultrasound scan. So when you are doing a female pelvic ultrasound scan, you are supposed to assess the best type of an examination for you to get the optimum results is a transvaginal ultrasound scan. However, you don't start with a transvaginal, you start with a transabdominal ultrasound scan and assess all the adnexial regions. Or there could be masses, fibroids which are too big that you can miss on a transvaginal ultrasound, because a transvaginal ultrasound probe is it's a high frequency, transducer with a very limited field of view. If you remember the ultrasound physics that we're talking about, we say that a high frequency transducer is good, higher resolution, but it is good limited penetration depth. So masses which are further away from the uterus, you need to assess using a transabdominal. In the preparation for a transabdominal, it needs a full bladder. Patient must have a full bladder, but for a transvaginal, a patient must have an empty bladder. So here are the images that you are supposed to present and make an assessment of. So that's the uterus there. You can see the uterus nicely there. And you can see here, that's our endometrium. So you can measure the uterus like that. This is the longitudinal section. And also you check the transverse section. So you also check here at the posterior aspect on the posterior cul-de-sac if there's no fluid accumulation and make an assessment. It is also prudent that you measure the thickness of the endometrium like that. Otherwise, you might think that the endometrium is normal when it's thickened, when there's endometrial hyperplasia or endometrial cancer. So just have a look around the uterus and in the surrounding areas if there are no masses or any other pathology that you can pick or identify. So according to my own assessment here, this uterus appears perfectly very normal. So now you are supposed to assess both ovaries in long and transverse section. So here you can only see I have just done this so that I don't waste a lot of time. So you can see this is the left ovary and you've got our right ovary there. You see the ovaries, the ovarian follicles there nicely there, and you can also see the left ovary, the ovarian follicles there. So you must also assess the adnexial region or the areas around the uterus and the ovaries. That's the adnexial regions. You also have to assess that region to see if there are no obvious pathologies that you can pick or that you might pick in that region. So do not ignore the adnexial regions or the regions surrounding the uterus when you're doing an ovarian your pelvic ultrasound scan. So the cervix also, you must demonstrate the cervix, see, check it nicely if there are no lesions or masses inside or cysts or anything that you can pick on ultrasound. So you can see here the posterior aspect is clear. There is no free fluid in the pouch of Douglas. So the fundamental thing is reporting or documenting what you see. This is the thing that most people they overlook, but it is the biggest challenge that we have. People they make misdiagnosis because of poor report writing skills, and they can miss a certain area or regions because they uh, don't know what to report and what to look when they are doing a pelvic or any other type of a sonographic scan. So pelvic ultrasound report. This is a normal one. Clinical history, pelvic pain, routine pelvic assessment. So you have to also put the other details like the patient name of the patient, date of birth, and all those other information nitty-gritties. So for the sake of time, I don't have to put everything here. So the technique, transabdominal pelvic ultrasound examination was performed. Then you also have to include, the transvaginal. So now you have to document your findings. This is simple. People have got different ways of documenting, but it has to encompass all the pelvic organs. So the uterus is anteverted and normal in size, shape, echo texture, measuring approximately 7.5 by 3.5 by 4.5 centimeters. No focal myometrial lesions are identified. Endometrium, the endometrium stripe is centrally located and measures 6 millimeters in thickness. It appears homogeneous with no focal abnormalities. The right ovary measures 3.0 by 2.0 by 2.5 centimeters and demonstrates normal echo texture with multiple small follicles. Normal vascularity is present. The left ovary measures 3.2 by 2.1 by 2.7 centimeters and demonstrates normal echo texture with multiple small follicles. Normal vascularity is present. No adnexial mass. Cysts are identified in the pouch of Douglas. No free fluid is seen within the pelvis. So the urinary bladder also is part of the pelvic sauna, so adequately distended and unremarkable. So you have to also to check the urinary bladder because pelvic pain or lower abdominal pain can be emanating from the bladder as well. So you have to check the adnexal region and don't forget the urinary bladder as well. So the impression is the last thing that you are supposed to give in your report. Normal pelvic ultrasound examination, normal appearance of the uterus and the ovaries, no adnexa or free pelvic fluid. So this is enough for your pelvic ultrasound scan. It shows the referring clinician that you've assessed and checked all the essential organs and the regions of the pelvis. So this is something that looks obvious, but where most people they can make errors or mistakes. Because if you forget to mention at the pouch of Douglas, the referring clinician will have questions. Was there free fluid in the POD? Because it has got implications. It has got what it means. What it implies, it can imply PID, it can imply that there's a hemorrhage, it can imply that maybe the cyst is burst or there's a ruptured ectopic pregnancy. So there are lots of things that you can miss when you don't mention one specific organ when you're doing your pelvic ultrasound scan. So it's very pertinent to the referring clinician. Don't just write this thing without checking. Make sure that you do a thorough assessment and make sure everything that you document has been checked. Otherwise, you're going to miss pathology. So you see, these are the building blocks of pelvic ultrasound. So if you have a sample report, it is this sample template report that you can then alter or use the region where there's a pathology. Let's say, for instance, that there's an ovarian cyst in the left ovary. So you're just going to alter the area of the left ovary, then you put the pathology, the cyst and its measurements. And another impression, then you're going to mention about the left ovarian simple cyst and then document other organs is normal. So this is the backbone, this is the fulcrum, this is the foundation of pelvic ultrasound scan. So to those of you who are still learning, I need you to write this report down so that you have a sample for your future use. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to our educational series as we continue to learn gradually. Take your time because we are reporting all the lectures that you are having, so you can do it at your own spare time, so that you have good time to watch everything and internalize everything. The building blocks of medical ultrasound are the ones that we are now making, or with the season that we are in, to build a future competent sonographer. Thank you so much.